Hello angels and welcome to another tutorial. Yay. So today we're going to be learning how to build a custom toast. I know that there are a lot of UI libraries out there, but it is good that you would know how to build yours, because if you make yours, it will keep your application light. So today we're going to be building something like this, something very simple. As you can see, when a very simple application, this is the home page. If I click show toast, you can see it works. I work, sorry. If you come here, if I show this, you can see error please. So this toast can work in across pages on your React application. So this is what we're going to be building today, custom toast that skills essentially. Yeah, so let's hop into it. Before we move on, I would like to talk about some prerequisite knowledge you need to know before you hop on this. So I would expect that you already have knowledge on Tailwind CSS. You should also have a bit of knowledge on React Router, and you should also have knowledge on the observer pattern. If you don't know what the observer pattern is about, I just did a video on it. The card should pop up right now, and if it doesn't, you should see the link in the description. So yeah, you should have knowledge of these three things before you move forward. So right here I've created a React application with Vite, and it's just a JavaScript React application. And now I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to call this folder components, and in here I'm going to create another folder, and I'm going to call this folder just say toast. Should we use that small letter? Let's just capital letter. Okay, toast. Okay, in the toast folder I'm going to create a JSX file, and I'm going to call this CustomToast the JSX. Okay, so I'm just quickly do that. CustomToast. Export default CustomToast, and so return. So we're just going to return a div, and I'm going to say, let's just put a h2 here, and I'm just going to say toast. Okay, but first, before we even yeah, let's just run it. So npm run dev in the terminal. Okay, so so I'm just going to go to the browser. I can say localhost. Yeah. Okay, this is what we have. So in our app.jsx, I'm just going to remove all this, and I'm just going to bring the custom toast inside. Do I need these? No. So let's go back. Yeah, so we have this toast. It's just there. Next, let's install Tailwind CSS. So here in Tailwind CSS documentation, I'm just following the instruction. So it's because I'm using Vite, so this is going to be npm. So I'm just going to copy this. Yeah, that copied. So there's a new terminal. I'm pasting and I'm installing it. Okay, all right, now that that has installed, let me also remove this. So we're going to style the custom toast next. Okay, so okay, no, I'm sorry, my bad. Let me just bring all this in. Sorry, I've forgotten. Okay, so that's in our index.css. I'm going to put this, just putting this at the top. Right, why is it shouting? Oh, sorry, it's not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be in the vite config, sorry. And then this should be here. Okay. Then next, I'll just, yeah, so this is where, what should happen in this index.css. Okay, yeah. So that's for installing CSS inside our application. Now, we need to style. I know normally I'm supposed to, remove all these styles, but I feel like just leaving them there. It's not disturbing what we want to achieve today. So back in our custom toast, I'm going to style this. So I'm just going to say class name and so I want this to be backticks. So it's going to be padding 4 all around. I want it to be fixed. I want it to be fixed at the top. Right, so back into so I want it to be fixed here. You get. And so I want it to be top 5, right? Then I want it to be right 0. So let's save that and let's see what that looks like so far. So you can see it's at this corner. Yeah, so that's what we're aiming for. Okay. Next we want the width to be 20 rem. And then I want it to have a minimum height 10. Then I want it to be flexible. Then I want it to be justify center. Item center. And let's change the background color, because I feel like usually it's supposed to be like green in the beginning. So let's make the background color green in the beginning. So that's going to be LGGG, and that's going to be let's say 500. Okay, so what does that look like so far? So now this is what the toast looks like. It looks good. It's okay. It looks fine, but I think we could make it, okay, let's make it like rounded, so it's not that sharp, right? Let's make it rounded. What's wrong with you? So I'm just going to say rounded. I want it to already be rounded on the left hand side, so that's going to be rounded. This I'm going to say, let's say medium. That looks good. Then I'm going to give a z index 40. The reason is because you want your toast to be in front of every other thing on your page. So okay, so yeah, this looks fine. Okay, yeah. So now that we have styled our toast, we need to add some states, because it's not going to show all the time, right? It's not going to show all the time. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add, let's say, a toast message const. So we say toast message Let me say set toast message capital M. So because we use state. Okay, so let us put a message. So this will replace what we have here. So this would now be toast message. Let's check that out. Okay, yeah, so we have a message. Okay, next we want to have a message variant, right? So what's this message variant for? It would determine, toast messages could either be a success toast or an error happens. Sometimes people would have warnings. Our own, we're just going to have, it's either going to be green or red. It's either going to be successful or a warning. That's our own. Of course, people can expand it as much as they want, but we're trying to keep things simple here. So we're going to say const. So we're going to say message variant. I'm going to say set message variant is equal to use state. So the first variant we're going to have is success, which is what we have here. So with this, what we're going to do is we're going to slightly change this. So here we're going to put a condition. If it is successful, then it should be green, else it should be something else. So I'm going to put this. So now I'm going to say if message variant is equal to success, then it should be, sorry, let's put this into quotes, then else it should be BG. We want it to be red, so let's make it 500. Sorry, this is okay, question mark here, if. All right, so if we go back, we should still see it as green. However, if we change this to error, you can see it is red. So we're going to change this as depending on the situation. So I'm going to leave this as success. Okay, last is we're going to say const is toast open, because of course the toast wouldn't be open all the time. And then we're going to say set is toast open, then we're going to say equal to use state. I'm going to say false. Okay, so what we want to do is that if it is open, we want to, if the toast is open is true, we want it to be block, else it should be hidden. No, not block, it should be flex. So else it should be hidden. Okay, so so if toast, is toast open. If is toast open is true, then this should be flex. Else this should be hidden. Okay, at the moment nothing should, okay, oops, was it false? Okay, yeah, it's false, so it will disappear because it's false. So if we make it true, I expect it to come back. Yeah, so here, okay, so now it's true, by default it should be false, so we're going to make it false. Okay, with this we have set up everything that would make this, you know, toast work. And now let's create a function that would show the toast, that would change the message. Okay, so I have to remove this, and okay, let's leave the success as it is. So I'm going to create a function, and the function is going to be show the toast. I'll just say show toast. So it's going to take two parameters, or two arguments. The first is let's just call it message, and the next is the variant, or let's just say message variant. All right, so here we're going to say set toast message. So the toast message will be the message, that we passed in. Next, we're going to say set the message variant to the message variant that we passed in. And in case nothing was passed, the default will be success. Okay. And then we're going to say set is open toast. We're going to now make it true. And then we're going to have a timeout. And then we're going to say set is toast open, and then we're going to make it false, and then 300. Sorry, I meant 3000, not 300. As a bit of a cleanup, we're going to just bring in a use ref. So we're going to say const toast ref is going to be use ref, and we're going to say no. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to say toast ref dot current. No, what's happening? Okay, let me put that in a new line so that it. Okay, why is it not toast ref dot? Why is the IntelliSense not working? Let's comment that out. Maybe. What's up? Oh, okay. I see what's happening. This, I think the use ref wasn't auto imported. Okay. Dot current is equal to set timeout, or what we've done before. So I'm just going to put this in a new line. And then I'm going to say clear timeout, and it's just going to be toast ref dot current. Okay. Yeah. So now we have so if we run this toast, obviously, if we use like a, what's it called, if we use okay, let's just quickly do something. No, you know what, just saving our time. So if we run this function, you know what, let's just create, so that what the next step would be much more understandable. Okay, I'm just going to create a simple button. All right, I'm just going to say open, and right, so I'm going to say on click, and that's going to be show toast, which is this, and the first is the message hello world, and it's going to be success, Okay, so if we go back to our browser, as you say, so if I click open, you can see that and it disappears. Okay, so fantastic, but this is not what we want. I mean, the button should not be inside the toast. I was just using this to explain how it should work, because now it works. If I click on it again, I mean, it works again. Yeah, so this is, we don't want the button to be inside here. It doesn't make sense. What we want is that we want this function to be controlled from anywhere in the application. And normally what you expect is that we could use a use imperative handle to, you know, trigger this from the parent, but that also doesn't work, because it means that we're tying the toast to its parent, to the component it's in. That's not what we want. We want it to be triggered either programmatically from anywhere in our page. And in order to do that, we are going to make use of a toast observable, or we're going to make use of a observer pattern. All right, so if you don't know what the observer pattern is, like I said previously, I have a video on it. I think it's also called an emitter. I'm not too sure about that, but we are going to use the observer pattern in order to control this function globally. Okay, so let me save this, and for our observer pattern, I'm going to create a new file inside our toast folder. I'm going to call it toast observable.js. So we're going to create a class, and I'm going to call it the toast observable. All right, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say open action, and this open action is going to be equal to just a function with null. That's all. So it's just going to be a function in the beginning that doesn't do anything. Next, I'm going to create a subscribe method, and this method is also just going to take in a subscription action. This is just going to be a function, just a normal function that, like you remember, if you know the observable pattern, there's going to be a function that you're going to pass in, that is going to listen for a change. So that's what. So here I'm just going to call this a subscription action. If you want to give it a default, you could just do default, just in case somebody forgot to do something, but let's not give it default. And next, we're going to say this dot open action. I know usually for observers, it's supposed to be an array of objects, but that's not what I want to do here. I just want it to be one. So that then we're going to say subscription action. Okay. Next, I'm going to say open toast. So this is like our notifier. So I'm just going to say the message, and then the message variant. All right, then I'm going to say this dot open action, and then it's going to be message, and then the message variant. Okay, next we're just going to say const toast, just toast initializer, toast init. I don't know, that's what I just feel like calling it. I'm going to say toast observable, new toast observable, and I'm just going to export default the toasts init. Okay, right. So if we go to, let's say, our app.js, right, in the which is like the default place. We could now create a okay, so no, not before we do that, let's go back to our custom toast. In our custom toast, we are going to we want this to be as reactive as possible, right? So what we're going to do is that we're going to bring in use effect. I hope that's imported at the top. Okay, that did. Then our use effect is just going to have one dependency, and that's going to be the toast init that we just created, right? And then we're going to say toast init dot subscribe. Then we're going to say show toast. So we're putting this function inside the subscribe. So if you go back here, is going, where is it? Just yeah. So now it's subscribing and it's replacing this sort of, yeah. And yeah, so normally there's supposed to be like an unsubscribe, but I don't see for what we're doing, I don't see the point of unsubscribing, because this toast is going to be throughout the application's lifetime. Throughout, it's from the very beginning of the application till the person closes their browser. Yeah, okay. But if you feel like it should be unsubscribed, you could do that, and let me know how that works out. Okay, so back to our app. So I'm going to say button, and then I'm just going to say show toast, right? So here I'm going to say on click, and I'm going to say toast init dot open toast. Then our open toast, I'm going to put the message, which is going to be hi there, and then let's just leave it at hi there. So if we go back to, so we have show toast. So if we click on it, you see hi there. Yay, that works. Now we could also just make it, if we want it to be an error, we'll just say error. So let's try that now. See, hi there is now error. Okay, so let me remove that error. Okay, so that's basically how it works. You can now decide, you can use these across pages. It really doesn't matter. You could use these across different pages. Maybe we should just quickly explore that. Let me quickly install, what's it called, React router DOM. So let's just say React router. So just say installation, declarative, first declarative installation. Let's just quickly run through that. So okay, let's quickly install that. Okay, so I'm going to quickly bring in everything we need. So that's browser router as router, and then routes, then route. Okay, so I could just cut that. No, yeah, route. So let me cut this. I'm going to paste this in a page, but even before, okay, so I'm just going to say router, then routes. Okay, let's just quickly create our pages. We'll just say home page.jsx, and then cast home page. Okay, this is main. I'm just going to paste this here. let's just put a h1 so let us say export default say home page. So back, we could just say our route. The path is obviously the home. Let's say element. No, element is home page. Okay. So if we go back here, if we like right now in the home page, if we seek show toast. Oh, sorry, my bad. Back to the home page. Sorry, I'm supposed to have imported this. Okay, yeah. Okay, so if we see, it works. So even if we navigate to a new page that we create, it would work seamlessly. It would work, pretty much the same way it would work if you put it even in another component, an inner component, wherever it is. Just say toast init.openToast, and that's how it works. So yeah, guys, this is how we can create a custom toast. Of course, it could be much more complicated than this. We could have like a lot of toasts showing at the same time. It could be in different colors, whatnot. But I feel like this would set the foundation to make you understand that the UI libraries you use have something like this behind the scene, and you can create your own rather than relying on a UI library. So yeah, if you learned something, do give a like, do subscribe. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. To the lose. Bye.